But what I've seen happen over the last couple of weeks is, Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers saying, hey, I need to have more control, or I need to deal with the front office more. I've seen Deshaun Watson, I've seen his character take hits. If that's Dick Vermeil coming on our show saying, I'm disappointed in Deshaun Watson. I'm seeing Russell Wilson come out and say, hey, look, yeah, I would like to be involved in personnel decisions around skill positions, on the offense. Yes, I would. And I'm hearing people say, well, you got to handle those things internally. I think fans are about to get extremely uncomfortable, and I think it's starting to follow the NBA suit a little bit, Key, where you are going to have a certain faction of fans that are going to be turned off by the fact that these players feel like they warrant the power to dictate what happens internally in systems that are traditionally way more conservative in their approach.
Well, the way more
conservative
approach at that position is typically, it's been going on forever. White quarterbacks essentially, demanded certain things in trades and things of that nature, Jay, and we didn't hear about it as much. And so if the fans are turned off by the players demanding things because it's been conservative at that position, okay, so what? Deshaun Watson happens to be black and Russell Wilson happens to be a black quarterback, so what? He should be allowed to have a conversation about the skill position players. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing. So if people don't want to watch football because these guys are not conservative as it should be or what it was in the past, we're in a different generation, man.
It's just fast. Yeah, we are. It's fascinating to me, right? Because it just different strokes for different folks. Because I'm watching Tom Brady get glorified for he made the right. He got out of New England, he got his way, and he got the kind of people around, and he got Leonard Fournette there, and he got Gronk there. And now
why are you changing your voice though?
It just happens when I get animated. Damn it! All I'm saying, it's just funny, different strokes for different folks. Then you have some players that are trying to do that in their own way, and yet they're being criticized for it. I just find it interesting.
The circumstances I started with Zubin earlier are different. One guy's a free agent, other guys are under contract. One guy is getting praise because the narrative is assuming that the reason these players outside of Gronkowski and AB went to Tampa because of Tom Brady. Jason Light is the general manager. Tom Brady had nothing to do with the free agents that he signed or the draft that he was put in place prior to that. The guy who was at quarterback a year ago threw 30 interceptions. All they needed to do was cut that down. If you go back to our early shows, first thing I said is cut down the mistakes and interceptions. You're going to go further throughout the course of the season. That is what Tom Brady was able to do. Leonard Fournette was a guy who was the fourth pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars, had some potential, ran into odds with management. They decided to move on from him. You look at Antonio Brown, he needed the only team that would take him would be Tom and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gronkowski came out of retirement. Go ahead.
You don't think Tom had anything to do with getting those guys there? You don't think he was involved in those decisions?
AB and Gronkowski. But, JPP was already there. Devin White was already there. They drafted Antoine Winfield. I doubt very seriously that Tom Brady sat in the room with Jason Light and said, I've looked at 500 safeties. This is the top safety. We should take him in the second round. I doubt that. The two guys that I would link to him would be Gronkowski along with AB. Outside of that, Kristen Wirth, the left tackle that they selected out of Iowa, I don't think Tom Brady selected the left tackle. I think it was the management that did that. So, yes, a lot of great things come with Tom Brady because Tom Brady has been a Super Bowl winning quarterback 7 times in the National Football League. But when you look at it, that team was stacked already. The team was already stacked.
Last point I'll say about this, the two guys that Tom Brady selected only scored 3 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. It just works out that way, right?
Here's my last point. Look, man, here's the bottom line. After week 12, a 43-year-old quarterback that once lost track of downs said, we're changing everything. In Chicago, are we on 4th down, 5th down, 3rd down? He said after the week 12 loss to Kansas City, by the way, they never lost again, and then beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And by the way, beat Breeze, Rodgers, and Mahomes back to win the Super Bowl. He said, we need to simplify. Every other quarterback of Brady's ilk stood there. Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, doubling down, heels dug in and said, bro, he's doing that, I'm doing that. And every other team that said we could have had Tom Brady, even though I know he said, look, not everybody needed him, they said, let's take a swing. If I'm a quarterback, I'm taking a swing after watching Brady. If I'm a team, I'm taking a swing after watching the Bucs get Brady. That is not a coincidence.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.